The political crisis in Pakistan continues to aggravate. A three-member bench of the Supreme Court is going to continue to hear the suo motu notice following the dissolution of the Assembly. While hearing the matter yesterday, Pakistan's Chief Justice Umar Ata Bandial said that all orders and actions initiated by Prime Minister Imran Khan and President Arif Alvi are subject to the orders of Supreme Court. Court has also ordered all parties, including the opposition, to avoid taking any kind of unconstitutional measures until the bench delivers a verdict on this particular plea. Two petitions have been filed against the dissolution of National Assembly, one by the opposition and the other by the Pakistan Supreme Court Bar Association. The second petition says that the Speaker's move is illegal, as the resolution to hold the trust vote was already taken on 28th of March. Meanwhile, Khan has also been denotified as the Prime Minister of Pakistan. He is going to continue to hold office until the appointment of a caretaker Prime Minister as per the law.
The Constitution and law is the obligation of every citizen wherever he may.
पाकिस्तान की तारीख में ये स्याह तरीन दिन गिना जाएगा कि जिस तरीके से आइन शिकने की गई है और जिस तरीके से इस ऐवान की रवायात को पामाल किया गया है, ये तारीख की औरात में हमेशा स्याह दिन के तौर पर याद रखा जाएगा।
स्पीकर की रूलिंग आ गई है जिसको मैं क्वेश्चन नहीं कर सकता। आप करना चाहें तो जरूर कर ले, मैं नहीं कर सकता।
कमीशन भी तो नहीं बना जो जिस पे रूलिंग दी, जिस आर्टिकल पे रूलिंग दी उस पे कोई कमीशन बना, कोई फाइंडिंग्स आई?
कहना है प्लीज, रूलिंग आ गई है, उस रूलिंग को मैं चैलेंज नहीं कर सकता। जिसने करना है वो कर ले।
In a rapid turn of events, Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan asked the President to dissolve the National Assembly and announce fresh polls after the last-minute dismissal of the no trust motion. Here's more on the story.
जुमा 25 मार्च 2022 को तलब करदा इजलास इसके काम के इख्तिताम को बाज़रिया हाज़िर बर्खास्त करता हूं।
Dramatic twist in Pakistan's political power game. Chaos breaks out after Imran Khan's bouncer. Pakistan Prime Minister losing numbers, staring at certain defeat and ouster from power, decided to cling on to power via back door. Imran dramatically called for dissolution of parliament and fresh polls. Moments after the speaker dropped a bombshell and rejected the no trust motion.
25 मार्च 2022 को तलब करदा इजलास इसके काम के इख्तिताम पर बाज़रिया हाज़िर बर्खास्त करता हूं।
Imran Khan called for fresh elections after no confidence motion against him was rejected in the National Assembly.
अल्लाह इस कौम के ऊपर देख रहा है। 27 रमज़ान को ये पाकिस्तान वजूद में आया था। ये इस तरह की साजिश इंशाल्लाह ये कौम कामयाब नहीं होने देगी। मैं अपनी सारी कौम को मुबारक देना चाहता हूँ कि नेशनल असेंबली के हमारे स्पीकर ने मुस्तरद किया, रिजेक्ट किया एक वो मूव, रिजीम चेंज की जो कोशिश की गई थी पाकिस्तान के 22 करोड़ अवाम में, एक बाहर से प्लान किया हुआ नो कॉन्फिडेंस मोशन जिसके पीछे एक फॉरेन एजेंडा था, और जो आज स्पीकर ने उसको जो रिजेक्ट किया है और ये नो कॉन्फिडेंस को जो रिजेक्ट किया, मैं सारी कौम को आज मुबारक देता हूँ। तो जो स्पीकर ने आज जो अपनी अथॉरिटी, अपनी जो पावर, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल पावर यूज़ करके जो फैसला किया है, अब इसके बाद मैंने अभी से प्रेसिडेंट साहब को वो भेज दिया है, एडवाइस भेज दी है कि असेंबलियां डिसॉल्व करें। एक डेमोक्रेटिक सोसाइटी में हम डेमोक्रेट्स अवाम के पास जाएं, अवाम से इलेक्शंस हो, अवाम फैसला करे कि वो किसको चाहती है।
Before Imran-backed Deputy Speaker Qasim Suri nullified the motion and termed it against the Constitution.
We're at the Parliament right now, and the opposition is holding its own session after the Deputy Speaker adjourned the session till an indefinite period and rejected the no-trust motion against Prime Minister Imran Khan. The opposition held voting on the no-trust motion during this session of its own, and the no-trust motion has passed with 195 members voting in favor of it. This is, of course, not official because this is just an informal session of the opposition, and we are waiting to hear from them about the future strategy that they're going to adopt.
The Prime Minister's close aide and INB Minister Fawad Chaudhry cried foul play and claimed foreign conspiracy to topple the government.
7 मार्च को यह बताया जाता है अदम एतमाद उस वक्त तक पाकिस्तान में नहीं आती, 8 मार्च को आती है। इस वक्त तक पाकिस्तान में भी किसी को नहीं पता अदम एतमाद आ रही है। हमारे एसपी साहब को बताया जाता है कि पाकिस्तान से आपके हमारे ताल्लुकात का दारोमदार इस अदम एतमाद की कामयाबी पर है। एक इफेक्टिव ऑपरेशन है जनाब स्पीकर regime change का by a foreign government.
Khan sent a proposal to President Arif Alvi to dissolve the assembly, essentially making way for early elections to be held in Pakistan. The president soon obliged. After the unexpected move in the National Assembly, opposition staged protest inside the House, conducted its own session, staying adamant on ousting Imran. A jubilant PTI tweeted images of a smug Imran Khan in all smiles after the trust vote stunner. Imran has decided to stay on as the Prime Minister in a caretaker role before polls. The opposition says it is just a facade to destroy democracy and stay on in power despite lacking numbers. Who will have the last laugh in the Pakistan political quagmire? With Alia Zahra in Islamabad, Bureau Report, India Today.
Kanwar Naeem, Pakistan journalist, is joining us live from Islamabad. Of course, there's a political turmoil brewing right there in your country, right there, Kanwar. But what part of this is constitutional, what part is not? There's a fair amount of confusion over it.
Actually, according to the Constitution, the Speaker is bound to conduct voting on no confidence motion after the resolution. Within the 7 days, the resolution is presented into the National Assembly and accepted. And it was legal boundary on the Deputy Speaker because the Deputy Speaker was chairing the session, the last session of National Assembly. Instead of conducting the vote, which was his constitutional obligation, he nullified the no confidence motion which was presented by the opposition, and he declared it that it's a foreign conspiracy. Whereas it was not proved by the government, it was still to be proven by the government that whether there was a foreign conspiracy or not. Secondly, the National Security Committee, the report, the notification presented by the National Security Committee did not mention any foreign conspiracy. So the point of government is too weak. Second, as the Deputy Speaker did not conduct the voting, so it's a violation of the Constitution. So the opposition was bound to go to Supreme Court, and they did so. But luckily, Supreme Court took the action on its own and took the motu action. 3-member bench under Chief Justice of Pakistan, Umar Ata Bandial, is looking at this case because the Deputy Speaker took the case under Article 5. Article 5 deals with the loyalty, as we discussed earlier as well. So it means the people who presented the no confidence motion are not loyal to the country. This is very, very strange and very unlucky for the Pakistani politics, because Imran Khan declared people disloyal to the country. They were involved in foreign conspiracy because they were meeting the people, American representative, American ambassador. In the same meeting where these opposition members met the American ambassador, Parvez Ilahi was also in the meeting. So because PTI government is supporting Parvez Ilahi right now, so he is loyal, but the rest of the opposition members are not loyal.
So what happens next? So what really happens next in Pakistan, and what are the possible scenarios that could play out?
Actually, we cannot predict right now because the case is under the Supreme Court is still hearing the case.
No, but the court will either uphold or it will not. So in both the scenarios, what happens?
First of all, Article 69 of Pakistan's constitution says that the ruling of parliament cannot be heard or cannot be taken to any court of law. So we have to see whether Supreme Court's, what does Supreme Court do now? Are they going to interpret the law in the violation of the constitution made by the deputy speaker, or Supreme Court keeps itself from this case as the constitution, the Article 69 of constitution keeps Supreme Court out of the rulings of the parliament. So in case the Supreme Court overrules the ruling of the parliament, so obviously they'll go into the no confidence, but government is going to protest, and the protests are foreseen in Pakistan because this is the ultimate what government can do. They can only protest. Otherwise, the final authority is Supreme Court, which can interpret the law, which is the final authority to interpret
absolutely. The final
law,
authority, as you rightly mentioned, is going to be the Supreme Court. So all eyes are going to be on the Supreme Court for the moment. Thank you so much, Kanwar, for joining us with those details right there. Let's get you some more insight into this, as Imran has plunged Pakistan into an absolute state of chaos at the moment. You do know and you're aware that the parliament is dissolved. Imran loses the Prime Minister's post. Imran Khan, to hold office till caretaker Prime Minister has been named. The caretaker Prime Minister appointment is going to happen within 15 days' time. There's no clarity at the moment on the appointment of the caretaker Prime Minister. The Prime Minister and the leader of the opposition name the caretaker Prime Minister. The parliament is dissolved. The Prime Minister and leader of opposition lose positions, and this uncertainty may add to further chaos in Pakistan. The Pakistan Army came out with a neutral stance, calling Imran's tunner a political development. Pakistan Army Chief Qamar Bajwa has rejected Imran's attack on the US, calling Washington one of the most reliable partners of Pakistan. Take a look.
एक बाहर से प्लान किया हुआ नो कॉन्फिडेंस मोशन जिसके पीछे एक फॉरेन एजेंडा था.
It has become the single biggest refrain for Imran Khan to cling on to his chair. An imaginary bogey which has given Imran the proverbial fig leaf. The bogey of a powerful foreign hand, out to topple him.
Because it's ridiculous.
Because of his solidarity trip to Russia. Imran has made it known to the world that he is referring to the United States.
Naming US Assistant Secretary of State for South and Central Asian Affairs Donald Lu as the person who warned Pakistan envoy to US and was instrumental in no confidence motion against his government.
Imran Khan has used this plank to trash the opposition, which clearly aced the number game.
मैं आज अपनी सारी कौम को मुबारक देना चाहता हूं कि नेशनल असेंबली के हमारे स्पीकर ने मुस्तरद किया, रिजेक्ट किया एक वो मूव, रिजीम चेंज की जो कोशिश की गई थी पाकिस्तान के 22 करोड़ अवाम में. एक बाहर से प्लान किया हुआ नो कॉन्फिडेंस मोशन जिसके पीछे एक फॉरेन एजेंडा था, और जो आज स्पीकर ने उसको जो रिजेक्ट किया है और ये नो कॉन्फिडेंस को जो रिजेक्ट किया, मैं सारी कौम को आज मुबारक देता हूं.
But Pakistan Army Chief Qamar Bajwa has rejected Imran's attack on the US, calling Washington one of the most reliable partners of Pakistan.
Good morning, Mr. President.
Equally, we share a long history of excellent and strategic relationship with the United States, which remains our largest export market. We seek to broaden and expand our ties with both countries without impacting our relations with the other.
We are neutral. Pakistan Army has absolutely nothing to do with what happened in the National Assembly.
Despite professional neutrality, the Pakistan Army remains the single biggest factor calling the shots in Islamabad. It ruled the coup-prone country for more than half of its 73+ years of existence. Imran maintains the army gave him 3 options to resolve the political crisis: his resignation, facing no confidence, or calling early elections.
उन्होंने ऑप्शंस दिए थे मुझे, और वो ऑब्वियसली हमारी एस्टेब्लिशमेंट है. उन्होंने ऑफर दी कि जी 3 चीज़ें हैं, या आप अदम एतमाद का वोट चले जाएं, या आप इस्तीफ़ा दे दें, और या इलेक्शन. हमने कहा इलेक्शन सबसे बेहतर तरीका है, इस्तीफा मैं कभी सोच भी नहीं सकता, और अदम एतमाद वोट का मतलब ये कि मैं तो बिलीव करता हूं कि आखिरी मिनट तक लड़ूंगा।
Imran has been on an overdrive meeting the Pakistan army generals recently. Is he playing by the Pakistan military rulebook? Bureau Report, India Today.
The move to dissolve National Assembly might have saved Imran Khan's government momentarily, but have further damaged the already fractured democratic system in Pakistan. Here's a report.
Solidly held that. Oh, that's a big shot. Oh, he's bowled him.
One of Pakistan's greatest all-rounders of all time. A bowler par excellence who was considered unplayable when ball tampering was legal in the 80s.
And the first wicket down, Imran Khan, the great Pakistan all-rounder.
30 years after he retired from the cricket pitch, Imran Khan Niazi has demonstrated that his talents for tampering to swing things in his favour have lost none of their potency. He may be beaming now, exuding the delight of one who has pulled the rug from under Shehbaz Sharif and Bilawal Bhutto, who led an opposition army to cast Imran unceremoniously out of office. But Imran has landed his country in a constitutional crisis. For one thing, Imran Khan appears to have made a move that flies against the mood in the all-powerful Pakistan army. Averting his ouster just a day after Pakistan's army chief obliquely criticized Imran's foreign hand conspiracy theories.
वो ये कहते हैं कि हमें, और एक बहाना मारते हैं कि हमें क्यों गुस्सा पाकिस्तान पे, लेकिन कहते हैं कि वो गुस्सा तब बिल्कुल ठीक हो जाएगा, हम माफ कर देंगे पाकिस्तान को अगर इमरान खान ये अदम एतमाद की ये हार जाता है, यानी अगर इमरान खान चला जाता है तो पाकिस्तान को माफ कर देते हैं।
We share a long history of excellent and strategic relationship with the United States, which remains our largest export market. We seek to broaden and expand our ties with both countries without impacting our relations with the other.
Article 5 जो है उसकी clause 1 तो पड़ी।
By blocking a constitutionally moved no trust vote against him, Imran has also confirmed to the Pakistani people that the numbers were indeed stacked against him and therefore severely damaged the democratic process at a time when Pakistan is battling to repair an irreparable international reputation. The opposition may be pushing things when it cites a looming civil war, but as caretaker Prime Minister on the back foot, Imran Khan still faces unrest and opposition even from his own party and government. A possible revolt within was triggered shortly after the National Assembly drama, with Imran's Attorney General and Deputy, the two top Pakistani legal officers, resigning.
आर्टिकल 6 लगेगा। आर्टिकल 6 किसके ऊपर लगेगा? स्पीकर के ऊपर भी और इमरान खान के ऊपर।
Imran Khan famously lost his cap and nerve facing a bouncer playing for Sussex in 1981, a sporting assault that galvanized him to bounce back and demolish the rival Middlesex team on the final day of that famous county test.
That has gone miles. It is a huge six.
41 years later, it's Imran who has delivered the bouncer. And it remains to be seen if Pakistan can put him in his place. Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's put this story in perspective for you viewers now. What does this entire political drama in Pakistan mean for India? Number one, Pakistan political volatility usually is bad news for India. Imran recently praised India, now being seen as a democracy fixer. Pakistan conspiracy theories of Indian hand fomenting trouble could find traction. This gives Pakistan army more leverage as the guarantor of Pakistan government, and it ends up creating uncertainty in terms of who is really calling the shots in Pakistan. political turmoil allows Pakistan hardliners to conduct work even less hindered than before. The Pakistan Prime Minister is not alien to controversies, from geography mix-ups to allegations of sexual harassment. Here's a report on the controversies that Imran Khan has been embroiled in.
Basically undo.
Imran Khan, the man in the spotlight, is surely having sleepless nights. His future as Prime Minister of Pakistan looks bleak, and no amount of damage control at this point could revive his prospects. This brings us to think, how well did Imran Khan fare as a world leader? Well, the number of controversies and slip-ups the cricketing demigod has been involved in while in power has made him the prime target of social media trolls. Let's start with Imran Khan's knowledge in geography. In 2018, during a speech at the Envoys Conference on Economic Diplomacy in Islamabad, Imran Khan referred to Arica, a port city in Chile, as an emerging country. At another official event in Tehran, Imran alluded that Japan and Germany share borders.
On the border region of Germany and Japan, they had joint industries. So now there's no question of them ever having bad relationship because their economic interests are tied together.
Unfortunately, Imran Khan's struggle with basic physics was also out in the open when in 2018, in an attempt to praise China, Imran Khan said China has launched trains that run faster than light.
China में यही सफर 4 घंटे में, यानी कराची से लाहौर पहुंचना, चाइनीज की जो अब ट्रेन चल रही है वो 4 घंटे में पहुंचा देती है, और वो जो अगली ट्रेन बना रहे हैं वो शायद 2 घंटे में पहुंचा दें, क्योंकि वो स्पीड की लाइट से भी ज्यादा तेज अगली ट्रेन्स डेवलप हो रही हैं.
Imran Khan's math appears to be poor too. While speaking at an event and glorifying New Zealand's victory in the World Test Championships final, the former cricketer got India's population embarrassingly wrong.
1 अरब 300 करोड़ आबादी है, उनको उन्होंने वर्ल्ड टेस्ट क्रिकेट की चैंपियनशिप हरा दी.
Respecting women and their choices is not something Imran Khan can boast of. In an interview with HBO, Imran said, "Women with little clothes instigate men." He then tried to backtrack, saying he would never say something like that.
If a woman is wearing very few clothes, it will have an impact on the men, unless they're robots. I mean, it's common sense.
Allegations of sexual harassment haunted Imran Khan in 2017. His party member, Aisha Gulelai, accused him of sending obscene text messages to women members of the party. While quitting the party, Aisha said the honor of women associated with Imran Khan's party was not safe. If anything, Imran Khan has managed to successfully maintain his Casanova image all through his oscillating career. In fact, his second wife, Reham Khan, in her autobiography has claimed that Imran confessed that he had fathered at least 5 illegitimate children, some of them Indian. Imran was a bachelor for the first 42 years of his life. In the years that followed, he married thrice. Ironically, for the playboy image attached to Imran, each of his wives turned out to be more conservative than the other. His first wife, Jemima, had her hair open. Second wife, Reham, partially covered her hair. And third wife, Bushra Bibi, covers herself fully, including the face. Now, public information confirms that Imran Khan has 2 children with first wife, Jemima Goldsmith. Unfortunately for him, he was heavily trolled for getting married to the British heiress, who was half his age. The Pakistan Prime Minister also faced international scrutiny in the 90s after British girlfriend Sita White claimed that Imran was the father of her daughter. Imran denied the claims, which led to a bitter legal battle until a Los Angeles court ruled that the 4-year-old girl was indeed Imran's biological daughter. He was finally forced to accept it. Some revelations made by Imran Khan's second wife, Reham, are cringeworthy. In her autobiography, Reham states Imran was obsessed with black magic and claims she caught him rubbing black lentils all over his naked body to ward off evil eye. Well, it looks like Imran Khan has surely mastered the art of blissful ignorance. Bureau Report, India Today.